I'm so happy to have you back in the building. You're gone. You were gone all summer. Did you have a nice summer? Was it laid back?
Nice to see you. I know. I don't feel like we have to like book appearances and get to
Yeah,
hang
this
out
is
together.
we're very old friends, and we only see each other in talk show
I know.
appearances. Yeah.
I know. It's wonderful. Yeah, I had a great summer. We had a lot of family time. Like we got to relax. Like I actually took some time off, be with our baby too.
How old is Cosmo now?
He turned 1. He's somewhere over 1. I don't care. Like I don't ever need to know beyond that. You know, like when people are like, "Oh, it's 15 months," I'm like, that doesn't mean anything to me. Does not change. Just like tell me when he's 1, because then before that he's 0. You know, then. And then I don't really need to know till he's like 5.
5, okay.
I feel like
you want to
1,
know 1,
5, and then I guess 25. in case I need him to rent a car to take me somewhere.
Oh, that's helpful.
Yeah. You know.
So basically, 1 to 5, that's one chunk for you, and then you don't care again until they can help you rent a car.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you got 3 kids, so to me, they're like 1.
I have 1. So I have 1.
There's
I have
0.
2 1s and a 5.
Yeah, 2 1s and a 5.
Yeah.
So you'll tell me when the other ones are 5, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We're fine.
I mean, you don't mind if I call you right away.
I mean, all right.
Do you I consider you kind of a laid-back guy, but being a parent, totally different. Like all of a sudden, I feel you experience fear in a way you never had before. Do you have any fears about being a parent?
Lots of fears about being a parent. Yes. I mean, the hard. I think when you have a decent imagination, it's worse because you don't have rational fears. You have creative fears.
Yeah.
You know, like we actually are not doing anything to prevent the rational problems that could happen. Like we've done no baby proofing. Every electrical outlet is wide open. And a lot of them are the old ones, like where they have baby finger sized holes. And like if you look in, you see a little spark that could catch a baby's gaze, you know? And we have every table has like glass objects. Every coffee table, one has just a ceramic dish with small glass balls in it.
You brought a photo of this. So first of all, even if you don't have a baby, this is a thing to have. What is this?
I mean, this is going to be shocking. I wasn't the one who bought it. But and no offense to these wonderful artists, but this is for baby choking.
Yeah.
This is just, there's
baby?
no
First
other.
of all, even if you're oh, don't worry, we'll zip it up. Any baby's going to be I'm going to unzip that.
And the great thing about this, it doesn't zip up. It's fake. It's a fake ceramic zipper. And I honestly think that when our baby goes and picks them up, it's almost like if you see someone dressed in a suit in a bad neighborhood where we should rob him, but it seems like a trap. It's too obvious.
Yeah.
It's got to be. I think he looks at he's like, this is too obvious a choking hazard. I can't.
Yeah, right.
I'm not going to fall for this.
It looks like a sandwich underneath a box that has a stick.
A stick where you're like, there's something else.
I should note that I didn't realize this was ceramic. I have more appreciation for this now.
Really?
Than when I first said.
More?
I mean, I bet if you told me what it cost, I might go back to. But I am impressed with actual craftsmanship.
Yeah, no, the craftsmanship's great. No, the artist is gonna love the plug now.
Any other?
Yeah, we don't really do but I have a lot. My fear, my number one fear.
Okay.
For what could happen to him, eagles. Because bald eagles, I don't know if you know this, but bald eagles are back.
They are.
In a big way. And everyone's like, oh, yay, they're back.
Yeah. Till
you got a baby. You know, it's the same way people are like, oh, the shark populations come back. Till you look like every other day a guy in Long Island's getting torn to pieces. You know what I mean? Not every other day. But I am. I mean, if people are like, oh, it's great.
I will buy that people are excited that bald eagles are back. I've not heard a single person be like, hooray, sharks.
My grandmother did tell me, did you hear sharks? There's now sharks in the ocean. I was like, now? But they were... No, but it is great that the shark population has quadrupled and moved closer to shore. That's really great. I think everyone loves that.
That's great.
Eagles, to me, they're round, and they're... I mean, I haven't done the research on this, but I believe they're the largest birds of prey in America. I would maybe even say in the Americas.
Yeah, I'm gonna just put money that you're wrong.
Yeah,
but You keep going.
Well, I mean, Costa Rica, obviously, there's islands off the coast where there's pterodactyls. I mean, that doesn't. I'm not counting Isla
You're
Nublar.
not anywhere.
Isla Sorna.
Like non-theme park birds.
Birds. Yeah. Then I think that they're the largest.
Yeah.
And, there's more now, so there's competition for food. Thanksgiving's coming up. And so they're probably like, oh, I could grab that baby, feed these baby eagles for weeks.
Right.
I don't know what their Thanksgiving traditions are.
Yeah.
We do a turkey.
Right.
But bald eagles might do babies.
Yep.
And maybe one of them's like, oh, maybe this year we'll just do ham. And it's like, no, we got to do a baby. It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Thanksgiving.
And so I'm like, we go for walks and I'm scanning the horizon.
Sure. You're just on Eagle Watch.
I'm on Eagle Watch. And then we go for a walk and she's got Cosmo in the stroller and Scarlett puts a little hat on his head that has mouse ears. On the hat, and I'm like, you're dressing our baby like food.
Yeah.
He's full of these glass balls. It's eagle entrapment. And of course, by the way, bald eagle, they're bald, right? Who are they going to go after?
Oh, right.
If they're angry at anyone, it's one of the only things I've got going for me.
Really good head of hair.
These eagles, they're looking at me and go, yeah, that baby.
You should have that artist make a ceramic Cosmo.
And try to choke an eagle with it?
Like an eagle comes down thinking it's like a nice soft baby, and then just like doink, doink. He's gonna doink right off. Hey,
I'm great with sound effects. They never let me do my own sound effects.
They never do. It's such a bummer. Hey, you and I want to check in on the you and Pete Davidson bought an old Staten Island ferry.
Yes.
And
I'm professional because I'm wearing the life jacket on shore.
You just can tell. This is, you know how like sometimes your friends do something and you're like, oh, why didn't they ask me? That is not how I feel about that. But do give me an update on the ferry that you bought with Pete Davidson.
Financially, it's going great. I mean, it is. We are printing money. It is our own money. It's ferry bucks, but we are printing it desperately, hoping that a dock will take it for payment.
So you don't have a dock yet?
It's basically docked. I mean, it's not going to just drift into the Manhattan or anything. It'll be fine.
That's great. Are
you tied down?
Is it exciting to buy a ferry right as the sharks come back?
This is why idiots should not be allowed to do things.
Yeah.
Pete and I bought this boat, and then there's so many immediate decisions you have to make, and one of them is like, well, you have to create a financial entity to deal with this boat. And so we're on a call, and I'm just like, all right, well, how about Titanic 2? And everyone on the call is like, oh, that's great, let's do that. So that goes into a contract, right? And so now suddenly we're looking for insurance, which we have to buy because it's a giant death trap boat. So you have to get insurance, and then every insurance company's like, it's called Titanic 2? And they're like, it's same like as you. They're like, is it Doc? All these questions. They're like,
that's one question. That's the first question anyone. I like that you're like, stop grilling me. They're like, where does it live?
It's fine. You have to also give it its own independence.
The boat?
Next question. We work together.
We work together. We don't
in
see
the
each
same
other
building.
as much as we do.
How do you get to work?
How do I get to work? The show sends a car. I take a car to work. How do you get to work?
I bike. I guess I just maybe a little more man of the people.
You bike?
I bike. So
what do you do? A city bike?
No, I buy bikes and then I just throw them away when I get here. So I just,
Yes, man of the people. Man of the people.
Yeah.
You just leave them on the street because there's not like a bike trash can.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a city bike-like system.
But it's just not city
bikes. I just throw them away, and I don't. I mean, I don't leave them in a shape where they could be reused. You know that big giant pile of broken bikes that's right outside?
That's your bike?
That's my bikes. Haven't you ever wondered? You thought it was one of those cool sculptures they put up sometimes at 30 Rock, yeah.
I thought it was Kuntz.
It was a lot. I get Kuntz a lot.
That's great. That's your favorite kind of bike? The one you just use once?
Yeah, the disposable bikes.
Yeah.
I think I'm an environmental guy. You guys know that about me. But I bike, and I don't know if you've noticed now, I feel like in the last year, maybe you guys have noticed this too, that somehow they've allowed pedicabs to just blast the loudest music you've ever heard. And for some reason, I find that they're all exclusively playing Despacito.
Yeah.
It's a very festive version of Hell, like that.
Yeah.
That's all you hear, and it's so loud. And I will just be biking, and I'm like, oh, what's approaching me from behind? Is it the entire Puerto Rican Day Parade?
Yeah.
No, it's a single empty pedicab.
Yeah.
And I realized that all the speakers project out. So if you're in the actual pedicab, it's relatively quiet.
Yeah. You think you're on your way to a club 20 blocks away that's playing Despacito.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, the dream.
The
which
dream.
we all, know.
You're like, faster!
Yeah.
Do you ever, in those moments, like when you see an empty pedicab blasting music, do you try to step in and go like, I might, again, this isn't my business per se, but I might have a note. I feel like by blasting this, people don't want to be in your pedicab.
I think it's aimed at like a full family where the dad is so upset at everyone where he's like, just get in I don't want to hear any of you anymore.
You're right.
I just need Despacito right now. I think that's what Despacito means, desperate dad.
Yeah, they say Despacito times call for Despacito metric.
That's right. That's right. You know.
Yeah, we know. I mean, we know this famous saying.
Famously. You guys
you're back in the swing at the show. It's been lovely to have you guys back. We missed a few because of the writer's strike, and now it's been wonderful.
It's great. It's been very nice.
Love the new cast. Love the young cast.
I love
some of them
the
are second
cast
year,
are great. Yeah, the last couple years have been really great. They're all fun. I love hanging out with them. They're doing great on the show. It's very nice to be back. We got Adam Driver, who's like
he's good now.
Fantastic. Really, really very good at.
I was a little sad. I'm happy about the outcome for the real person, but Bowen as George Santos was a real gift to the show.
That was and to all of America, really.
To all of America. And maybe not the most obvious casting in the beginning, but you guys worked on this together, yes?
Yes, and he, Bowen is fantastic, and I feel like. I don't think it's necessarily goodbye to George Santos. I feel like it's hello, 1,000 documentaries about him.
Yeah.
Is my guess.
I feel like
we'll probably see him. Like, there's almost no chance he's not in a Super Bowl commercial for, like, pistachios. Whatever it is.
Like, someone's like, George! Like, that definitely is a line.
And he's like, what?
Yeah.
Pistachios.
I'm Mr. Pistachio.
And then he also, like, I do feel like what I've thought about George Santos, too, is that it almost like we should give him more credit because he was able to get elected, but he used all the campaign stuff on like Botox and, like Hermes. Like these other people spent it all on the campaign and couldn't win.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of impressive?
Would be like, well, of course you won. You conned those people out of their money and you used it to run against us. And he's like, no.
No. Wouldn't you rather him look like real, like, sauced up? Instead of having to see like another campaign ad from him. Yeah, no, it's cool,
It is again, the best thing about him is the lies didn't seem impressive. Like he lied about things that you wouldn't think another person would vote for you if you were like, oh, he played college volleyball, he's my guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I never thought someone would try to impress me with college volleyball.
Yeah, and Santos did and it worked.
And that's why he's a visionary.
Yeah.
He also does I feel like he made people feel better about themselves, too. Like, if when you saw that going on, you're like, oh, I'm not that bad of a person.
Adam Driver was in Marriage Story with your wife, Scarlett Johansson.
That's right.
Is that a weird thing? Yeah, give it up for Marriage Story.
Yeah, great movie.
Because that was like maybe one of the best movies ever made about the dissolution of a marriage.
Yes, I guess it is. It's odd to meet someone who played a person who divorced your wife. That's a weird, because I guess when you date an actor, I've heard, they sometimes have to kiss people in movies or whatever.
Yeah. You found out, though, after you said I do, right?
Exactly. The minute after.
Yeah. She's like, now that it's official, I have some things to tell you about acting.
She's like, look at this list. I'm kidding. I don't keep a list. So it is weird to meet someone that was played, because you're like, oh, I was in a movie with your wife. Oh, what did you do? I divorced her. And by the way, I should have said spoiler alert, but Marriage Story is actually about divorce.
Yeah.
So if you thought like, oh, it's the father of the bride,
you kind of know right away.
Yeah. Right. They get that out really fast.
Yeah. Like pretty much like
the first line is, "What do you do?" I do.
We saw each other at the Natural History Museum Gala.
Oh, yes. Seth emceed the gala and was fantastic.
Thank you.
Great job.
Excellent. But you...
Excellent work.
You sort of went You sort of went viral for a red carpet moment.
Did I? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I want to show it first, and then I want you to explain what happened.
Okay.
Here's the
Okay.
red carpet.
Okay. So.
What happened?
So I don't understand. Are you implying that someone gave me some sort of gummy mushroom right before I went to the red carpet? Is that what you're implying?
And that you froze like a deer in oncoming traffic to the degree that your wife had to lean over in front of a camera crew and be like, "Are you okay?"
Are you implying that when 1,000 flashbulbs went off in front of my face that I thought I was staring into the dawn of the cosmos? And that I fully realized my entire past and future in one moment until my wife had to rip me out of the space-time continuum and say, "Are you okay?" I don't know what you're implying.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
But I've seen that face before.
Right.
Because we work together, and I want to show it one more time and let everybody here know this is the face Colin would make if I'd be like, "Hey, did you finish writing the cold open?" All jokes aside, this is a really funny podcast you do with Wanda Sykes, and it's getting great reviews.
Yes, I was very. Anything that gets good reviews that I'm involved in, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
That's just my way of thinking. But people were very excited about it. Our friend Claire Friedman wrote it, and she's fantastic. I was very excited to do it with Wanda. Wanda's in it. Heidi Gardner's in it. Cecily Strong, Neil Patrick Harris. It's a great
Parnell.
cast.
I think you got Parnell. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm definitely the worst one by a large margin.
That's not true. But are you a little
I get suspicious
about the reviews?
The reviews. Do you ever see reviews that they're so good that you're like, this wasn't a human that wrote this?
Like, here's one. Hilarious. The character development is so specific, and the actors are perfectly cast. I've laughed out loud so many times and can picture all of it. 555.
555. Hilarious. I think this is a little bit of a brag about their own imagination. You know, they're like, I can picture all of it.
Yeah.
You might not be able to.
Yeah, you do feel like if there was a fourth row that said like my imagination, they'd be 5 stars there.
It would be 6. I imagined another star.
Yeah. Funniest thing I've heard in a while. Claire Friedman is a genius. Colin Jost and Wanda Sykes are incredible together. Everything about this is perfect. It's like listening to an amazing episode of 30 Rock. Cannot recommend enough. It's another one, all the 5.
Genius. Claire Friedman, a friend of mine. I mean, would I say genius? Colin Jost and Wanda Sykes are incredible. Enjoying it is perfect. It's like listening to an amazing episode, right? And then I like that one person found it helpful.
Yeah.
And I will admit that was me.
Yeah.
I was like, this is very helpful for me.
This is though. This again, I would say with the words still is positive.
Yes, hilarious. I listened to this in one day at work. Meanwhile, like, what's the employer thinking right now? That's like 8 hours of work that they spent listening to it, and was literally laughing out loud. Overall, 5 stars. Performance, 5 stars. Story, 2 stars. So.
Feels weird to be so positive and then be like, story stunk.
Yeah, story. But anyway, really, check out the story. I know you're like, I bet the story's going to be good. It will be. Don't listen to.
I mean, when you average it out, it's still like, with those other 2 5s.
Those other 2,
still comes out to like a
probably
4.
like high 3s.
Yeah.
I'm no math guy.
We didn't get into this because we're math guys.
Is it called math guy?
That was right before on that red carpet. Someone asked you, what's 12 divided by 3? Your mom had a birthday or has one coming up?
My mom's birthday is on Sunday. I'm very excited.
Very big fan of your mom.
I love
Jost family.
Dr. Carrie Kelly. She was in the fire department for a long time. She's turning 21, which is pretty exciting.
But how you did not know her age?
All growing up, she would tell my brother and I that every birthday we would be like, "How old are you?" We don't ask now because we don't want to know the truth. But when we were young, we would ask like, "How old are you turning?" And she would always say 21 when we were kids.
Yeah.
She was like, "I'm 21," and I'm a fairly gullible person.
Yeah.
if you've ever seen me on Weekend Update, and perhaps I've gotten tricked at times, you may see me and say, I can't believe how gullible this man is.
Yeah.
So as a kid, I was also that. And so when she would tell me and my brother she was turning 21 every year, I believed it for a very long time until I was like 12. And one of my friends asked how old my mom was. And I said, she's turning 21. And they were like, oh no, what happened? Is she okay? Is everything okay? And I was like, yeah, it's fine. She's 21, I'm 12. And then they told their parents, and then my mom had to be like, I'm 45, you idiot.
You brought a photo of your son Cosmo last time you were
Yeah, he's 2 in a little bit, a couple months.
Gotcha.
And he's a cute kid. He's like, he's doing a lot of stuff. He's like very active. He's a cute kid.
Do you mind if we show a pic? This is a pic.
No, that's okay. Yeah, please. Go ahead. I feel like he has his dad's sense of fashion.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks for taking the time to print that out to show that.
Yeah.
I was like, I know what'll be funny.
We are gonna when a guest insists on making an art card and it goes that bad, we do make him pay for it. We do. It's not much.
Yeah. So
It's not much, but we just.
I was like, I got it.
I want to mention one member of your family who recently passed, and I say this with all sincerity. Your grandmother,
Yes.
who I adored, and I remember the last time I was lucky enough to get to talk to her was at your wedding, and it was so exciting that she was there. She passed away. Tell everybody how old.
My grandma just passed away. She was 106 years old. Yes.
Amazing.
So it's not even no sympathy at that point. You tell people like, oh, my grandma died, and they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. How old was she? And you're like, 106, and they're like, oh, so kind of late. So late. She was 106, right? And she survived COVID. Like she got through COVID.
Yeah.
And so I remember calling her when COVID started, and I was like, Grandma, are you okay? Is everything okay? And I swear to God, she was like, first the Spanish flu. Now this. And I was like, how old are you? It's literally the same years as if it would have been like, first the Titanic, now the submarine.
May she rest in peace. She lived a long life. We were lucky to have her.
We were very lucky.
I was very lucky to know her.
Hi, buddy.
Hi.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I city biked here today.
Really?
Yes, I city because I'm a man of the people.
Yeah.
And, as you could tell from this white shirt, the back of which is now dark because I sat on a city bike on the way here.
Are you often doing city biking? Is it?
I city bike to work every day.
Okay.
I know you have 2 limousines race here.
Yeah.
You know, but I city bike, and I was biking here, and I walked to the bike, and I had a bottle of water. It was aluminum can.
Okay.
I know.
Well, you're really just trying to get your thing.
Yeah, so aluminum. I care. I mean, Seth obviously. Seth
I get
backstage,
the littlest plastic bottles.
You got the little, and each individual bottle you have backstage has its own 6-ring holder.
Yeah, but there's only one bottle for the 6.
One bottle for the 6, and you have them out, and
Yeah.
it says, "Please grab a turtle trap."
Yeah.
You know, it's like.
Yeah.
That's your thing. I do use aluminum.
Okay.
And so I was on the bike, and I got on the bike, and I started biking, and I was like, oh, I should throw this can bottle out. And then I was like, but I can probably do it while I'm still in motion.
Yeah.
Right? So I kind of like got close to a recycling bin, and I got close, and I had the bottle, and I made a little noise, even like, yeah, you know. You know.
Just to help your aim.
Help my aim. Like,
That's a lot of the great NBA players. They're like,
yes, it was totally. Kobe, yeah, it was and I yelled Kobe, and then I went, and I threw it, and it just, not even close, like banked off the side, and I was just like, oh. And then I'm on the bike, and I'm like, I gotta pick this up now, and I was like, but I bet I could pick it up without getting off the bike. Right? Mm-hmm. So then I'm stationary, and I reach down for the bottle, and I'm like, oh, nope. Nope, and I fall onto the ground, and then the bike comes on top of me, and then a guy is biking up behind me, and he's like, are you okay?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. And then I get up, and he's like, oh my God, you're And I was like, Marcelo Hernandez? I sure am. Great. Do you want me to sign something? Love Domingo?
I'm very proud of you for owning up to everything but the last part when you gave somebody else's name.
Thank you. Yes, that's. I had a question for you, and I don't know if I don't know if everyone else is on the same page as me on this. Mannequins.
Oh, I'm glad you're bringing it up.
Right, mannequins. I don't know if anyone else is feeling this way. Mannequins in storefront windows. Mannequins have gotten significantly hotter. Everyone else, I know all the husbands have to pretend they don't know what I'm talking about. What? No, there's nothing on you, honey. Oh, I know. Yeah. The mannequins in New York, there was a sudden shift at some point. I don't know, like last couple years, they're stacked. They are really genuinely, and it's not only like, they used to just be like little dummies, whatever. Now, they're like interesting. They have like, they have an attitude. They have a style. Like
You've been saying this about regular hot girls for a long time.
Yes, they're actually
interesting.
They're actually interesting. No, there are mannequins now. Like, you look, mannequins that I'm actually like, oh, I kind of love their personality. Like, really, it's a lot, too. And I encourage you, when you walk home tonight, take a moment just to enjoy the city in general.
Yeah.
But then take a moment to glance at the mannequins. You tell me if I'm not right. If you're not horny as hell walking home tonight. And then I was making this point to a friend of mine / therapist, and he pointed out, he's like, have you rewatched, after saying this, have you rewatched your opening montage for SNL? And I was like, no, I haven't. And I was like, well, he goes, take a look at it next time, the new one from this year.
Okay.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Let's take a look.
Colin Jost.
You know what the bummer is? I watched that clip and I'm like, they look the same to me. You're like, these mannequins are banging. And you show the clip, I'm like, oh, I don't think they are.
That's a bad example.
The mannequins I hang out with I'm man of the people. You're ostensibly here to promote Pop Culture Jeopardy.
Oh, yeah. Is it not mannequins? Well, I got to come back. I think Amazon.
Literally, Amazon's going to be like, wait, what did he? So did he talk about it at all? And they're like, it was mostly mannequin.
And then Amazon said they want me to get into the Jay-Z stuff, or they don't? This is Amazon.
Yeah, you saved it. I was worried they were going to be mad at you, but now you saved it. Pop Culture Jeopardy. It's a good time. And I think I will admit, when I first heard it, and I think a lot of people were like, oh, so it's like going to be less, it's going to be like dumb Jeopardy. But these questions are...
Sorry, who said that?
Like, look at these questions.
No, hold on. I want to just, hold on. I don't want to give them too much of a head start. These questions, and a lot of people will be like, you've heard people say like, oh, this ain't your grandma's tea party or whatever.
Yeah.
What's the thing they say?
That's when you know they're a Russian spy, because people don't talk like that. Hey, this is not grandma's tea party. You're like, something's up with Jeff.
Whatever the phrase is, this ain't your grandma's dance part.
Was this what you did? Is this how you talked at the audition for Jeopardy? You were like, what is this ain't your grandma's tea party?
This ain't your whatever it is, they say. You've heard the beginning of that phrase, right?
Yeah,
and then I don't know what the end is.
This ain't your, and then there's
grandma's something.
Yeah, right.
There's grandma's in it.
Okay.
It's ain't, so you might say, someone might say, this ain't your grandma's Jeopardy.
Yeah, sure. That's better than everything you've said so far.
Someone might say, this ain't your grandma's Jeopardy.
Somebody might.
I'm saying
Yeah, I think you're the person
But this for real is not your grandma's Jeopardy. This is, if your grandma watches it, her brain will explode. Look at these, show them
okay,
show
so
them
here's,
this.
all right, here we go.
Here's
So
the first one. Here.
All right, yeah, great.
Show them this, right?
Okay.
California metalcore masters of lip gloss and black, and a character sent on a quest in the never-ending story.
Yeah.
Do you know it?
No.
Don't say it like everyone knows it. No one answered, and one person was like, Atreyu. No one got Atreyu? You nerd.
Hey, this is my audience. Don't turn on my audience. I don't come to Celebrity Jeopardy or whatever the you're calling it. I don't yell at all of them for the way they act.
Also, very clearly my audience for this as well. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, right. You're too smart.
Okay, see if they can get this one.
This is a math clue. Star Wars order that led to the demise of the Jedi minus the number of years in the title of a Lucas Graham hit.
What is Order 66?
That's one part. And I'm sorry, I heard a number, but I didn't hear a question. God, I'm so good at this.
This is, I think at Amazon right now, they're just slowly turning the TV off.
Amazon still has a dial TV.
They were like, here's what happened. He was talking about mannequins. We were like, get to the show. And then he got to the show. We're like, talk about mannequins. Let's do one more.
that was
and by
very
the way,
good.
we're going to do one more because we're going to have to edit most of this.
That was right. That was the correct answer, 59. So
Okay,
someone
let's
got it.
see
It
if
was-
someone gets
I
this
mean, the
one.
correct answer.
All right, so this time, if you know it, yell it out in the form of a question.
Sometimes, sometimes these are the questions you really want me to read.
Take your time.
If you want to go and take a ride with me, we three wheeling in the foe with the gold D's. Oh, why do I live this way? Yes! Yes! 20% of you knew it.
But enthusiastically
But
do it.
enthusiastically, great work, guys.
Oh, I love you, buddy. This is always just so much
I
fun.
love you too.
I can't believe we're out of time. Although then when I think about everything you've talked about, I kind of can't believe there's any time left in the day.
You ask me questions. I feel like no one ever asks you questions. You know?
Colin Jost, everyone.
What do you think of Jay-Z?